Intellivision Entertainment, the Intellivision Amico system, Amico Home, they all appear to be desperate and on the verge of dying or collapsing. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the launch of Amico Home, the latest Intellivision Amico update, how the Amico Home games are selling, and how the Intellivision Amico games that were ported to Steam, an update on how their sales are going as well. You'll want to listen to this if you're interested in this. Of course, most of you know, over 5 years ago, the Amico was announced. It was going to be a system that was between $150 and $180 roughly. All the games between $3 and $8. My, how things have changed. It was going to launch with over 20 games, including several built-in reimagined games. And there was all these games that were going to come out. You just look at all these names of all these games that were going to come out, like Toe Jam and Earl, and even Bad Dudes and Super Burger Time, all these exciting games coming out. My, have things have changed. Let's go to Republic. So Intellivision themselves had bragged in the past about how they raised $17 million total, and also how that they secured over $100 million in manufacturing line of credit. Remember that. So, and here's the Republic campaign where it raised $11.5 million. And let's go to the terms. And there's something I want to point out. In the terms, people who invested, the developer does something, people invested, get some of the money. That makes sense, right? And they were supposed to get 25% of all revenue from purchasable games. And there's some games that can be purchased now, and the investors probably should be told, hey, what's your cut? When can you expect it? Stuff like that. So let's go to the updates. Now, the investors, in my opinion, haven't been treated the best. Back in September 12th, they could leave comments. In 2022, so that was like over a year ago. The last two updates, we'll talk about this one in a second, no comments allowed. There's even comments like this one. So let's go to the latest one. Let's look at the comments. You have this one guy asking if there's an email list or anything for updates, or is this a sole form of communication with your investors? He wants more information. Makes sense, right? This person said, if the console's no longer a priority, how will investors earn any type of money? What exactly will you pay a revenue share for your new business plan? Like when they sell the games, they license the games, they come out, and Intellivision doesn't answer them. They'll give an update. So let's go back and let's see if I can go back to the updates. Let's go over here and let's look at the latest, not the reviews. We don't want to see reviews. We want to see updates. So let's look at the latest update from Phil Adam to investors. This was also sent via email and on Facebook, I believe. And first of all, I just want to point out, this looks like compared to how they used to do stuff, the presentation has taken a hit. And the presentation wasn't the greatest to begin with, but this, I made a video where I talked about how Amico Home was going to kill the Intellivision Amico. And my logo was not too dissimilar from this one. And you have this weird dude popping out of the phone and talks about Amico Home's coming. It's going to be an app. You need to get the controller. We're going to have 4 games. Remember when back in 2018, they said in 2020, when the launch was supposed to happen, they were going to have 20 games ready to go. And now we only have 4 games being shown. 1 game is just a first look. From what we understand, it's just a first level. Why is Sideswiper still in development? Why is it not finished? It's insane. $17 million, 5 years, and this is all you have to offer, and really it's just these 2 games that are for sale. And we go to they talk about Amico Club. We'll go there in a second. And the console right here, our ability to begin manufacturing the Amico and volume requires securing additional investments. When I read that, what does that tell me? We blew the $17 million already. We need more money. It's crazy. 17 million and they still need more money. The release of Amico Home puts us on better footing to attract such investment or eventually fund manufacturing from the proceeds of Amico Home game sales. So they're saying that this right here is their last ditch effort. What I read into this, that they either need to attract a new investor with how amazing Amico Home is, or they need to use the profits from the games. Let me tell you something. I'm assuming they need millions of dollars to manufacture. And we're going to look at the sales. It don't look good. It don't look good at home. So let's talk about the Amico Club. So this is where people can go in. If they have a deposit, they can verify that you're on it. So it's kind of like a fan club, but look how basic this looks. This looks like like I said, the presentation has taken a step down. If you go, because I was thinking this looks like something from the year 2000 when I first saw it. The year 2000, this was the Intellivision Lives website right here. Okay, this definitely has more flair than what we see on that page, but let's see. Let's sign up for the mailing list. And this is what it looked like in the year 2000. And it's not much dissimilar. You got like a basic graphic, a little bit of text, and that's it. And here we are, Amico Home. It's very basic. You could join now, and they're going to want a bunch of information. Tell us, how many kids you got? What are their ages? What's your age? What's your gender? Did you play video games with your mom? Okay, they didn't ask that one. And they want to know all this information. And spoiler alert, I'm not signing up for this. I don't trust Intellivision with that kind of information. I'm not signing up for that. Sorry if that disappoints you. All right, so that's the Amico Club, kind of underwhelming. Now let's look at the sales. First of all, a couple weeks ago, today is November 28th. It was about 2 weeks ago. I put up a video looking at the Steam sales from BBG using VG Insights, and I revisited the page today, and it's unchanged. They haven't sold, according to VG Insights, they estimate that they haven't sold any more games. So the sales there of those games are just not attracting people. If you're measuring this like a pulse, it's you're getting to the flat line. And let's go to Google Play and let's look. First of all, you need the Amico Home app. Remember when this was supposed to be simple? Now you need multiple Android devices that are all compatible and will all operate on the same Wi-Fi at the same time. It's interesting because recently my phone it's an Android device. It's been giving me trouble with connecting to Wi-Fi lately. I don't know why, and I'm not the only person that's had that issue. And could you imagine you have a device and all of a sudden the Wi-Fi is getting finicky with the device? And if you look at about this app, look at this. Look at all this text. This it was supposed to be simple. Now it's complicated and people don't like that. So the Home app has over 1,000 downloads. Okay, it's been out for about a week. You need the controller. So how many people are playing this thing? Well, you only have half the downloads. So a lot of people have the app and they didn't even do the controller. And then you look at the games. So we look at Astro Smash. And by the way, this icon to me kind of looks weird. Like the way the A is, like, why not just put it in the corner or something? I don't know. In the past week, it's only had just over 50 downloads at $15 each. I think the math I did is like $750. That is not a lot of money. That is not a lot of money at all. That you have 50, now it might be more, right? It might be under 100. So maybe $1,000, but Google's going to take their cut and the investors, they're supposed to get 25% of that. And so here we go. Astro Smash, $14, only 50 people or so have bought it. Let's look at Missile Command. This, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the holidays. It looks like a menorah to me or a candelabra of some sort. This is another weird icon. It's $15. I would think that this one would have more attention because they didn't release this on Steam, but it only has 50 downloads. So no one's buying this. I don't think the sales, and this is the first week, right? Now it is in like this weird beta form, and the rollout was really poor and there's no advertising, but there's no sign that it's going to get any better. If these two, let's estimate that between these two games, and I'm going to be very generous because at 50, I think it was $750 each. So $1,500. Let's say they got all that money after the cut, that the extra downloads, the plus, I don't think that's enough to fund a week's salary for both Phil and John Alvarado. I think on the Start Engine campaign, they were roughly getting 6 figures each year. So that's not enough to fund the office for a week. And this is your big first week. If you're measuring this like a pulse, it's getting close to flatlining. Then there was some other information came out, like the fine print for the Amico Home games. This is over at the Reddit, Intellivision_Amico Reddit. And this was by Matt Pills. And he talked about how the terms of use, now you can contact through Amico Club, I guess you can say, hey, I have a pre-order. and you can download Astro Smash because that's a packing game. But you download the packing game and then you request your refund, they're going to deduct the MSRP, so I guess $15 for Astro Smash from your $100 deposit. So you're kind of buying the game, whether you like it or not. Really, the people who pre-ordered 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, at this point, in the best of all worlds, Intellivision would say, hey, thank you for your faithfulness. Here's your refund, but you still have your spot in line, right? And as a sorry for how long you've had to wait, it was supposed to be out in 2020, go ahead and play Astro Smash for free. Like, seriously, that's what they should be doing. I don't know that they can afford to. And also, if you download any game from the box, you bought the box set, you're going to have to apparently open the card to get it, to read a serial number. They haven't said if you could still transfer, because originally one of the selling points of the box games was you could transfer it to a different person. You could resell it if you wanted. But if you do that, then you can't return the box sets. I don't know. I didn't even know if you could return the box sets. Then you have this post that was from Paraclaw about how John Alvarado was talking to a potential developer, how back in the day, remember, Dying and Desperate, back in the day, you had to be an established developer with a track record of published games to be considered for a developmental deal, which included funding from Intellivision. My goal is now to open up development to indie developers to experiment on their own dime and publish anything they think is worthy for the public to consider. Like, remember, highly curated, and now it's like, we'll take just about anyone who will do it as long as they pay. Dying and Desperate. And then finally, I just like to point this out. I've heard a lot of positive buzz about Godzilla -1. I'm a Godzilla fan. Why are you talking about this? Because the production budget, estimated budget, was $15 million from Godzilla -1. Intellivision Amico has had 5 years and $17 million. And look at what they've produced. I just to put things into perspective. So yes, according to the way I see it, Intellivision and Entertainment, Amico Home, it's basically a poison pill. No investor is going to see those numbers and get excited, and the numbers aren't enough to support the production of a system. At least that's what I see. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time.